Ooh, that's ominous, isn't it, Vincent? Recording in progress. How are you, young fella?
I'm doing great. How about you, Mitch?
You're looking well. You're looking well. You always do. I don't know what it is. You're defying age. I think you're going backwards in time.
I don't know about that, but you check your eyesight, but thank you. Must be all the running.
Oh, are you running again?
Yeah, I'm still running. Barely.
Man, I envy you because I fell apart when I started running when I don't know what it was. My soon-to-be ex-wife said we're getting divorced, and I just took off and said I'm running. I started running, and I ran for years afterward. Then my knees started falling apart, and it's like I enjoyed it, but yeah,
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
an old
called
man.
Forrest Gump several times, and I've just got back from physical therapy today, so it's wearing on me, but
But you
I'll
run real distances too. I was all about 5Ks.
yeah,
You run 26 milers, don't you?
yeah, I'm training for one in October, but not sure I'm going to be able to finish, but I'm going to try.
Hey, you run the Marine Corps Marathon. That's impressive.
Thank you. Hey, what's that shirt you got on? I like that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. It's my Willie Nelson shirt, and I'm all about Texas this week. But I got my Texas is better than Nashville hat on, and just so you know, that's to support a local public radio station where they're straight up saying Texas country music is better than Nashville, and I'm sticking with them. And I apologize to our any Nashville listeners. I'll stick with it. It's better than Nashville music.
I mean, you may have to explain that to me what the difference is at some point.
Well, there's a theory like Texas is more like gritty and real and all and that kind of stuff and speaks to the people more than they say Nashville music is kind of generated out of a corporate room. Like it's polished, it's for mass production, that kind of thing. But this shirt, and thank you for bringing it up by the way. But yeah, it's a Willie Nelson concert shirt. First of all, it's from 2021. Willie wasn't touring in 2021. That's why I thought it was funny because it was COVID. Nobody was touring. But he's touring now, Vincent. Do you believe that?
That's crazy.
He's 92 years old. He's got 3 shows this month. And it's not like he's going to tour, he's going to play at Dripping Springs, Texas, or he's going to play some honky tonk around here. He's touring the Midwest.
He
He's
gonna
in
outlive Keith
Wisconsin.
Richards?
Pardon?
He gonna outlive Keith Richards?
Oh, sounds like a tall order. I was happy
Yeah.
when I saw Willie live in concert down in San Antonio the first year I moved here. I was like, I got to go see that. And little did I know he's still going. But the point is, I want to thank you for bringing this up because I'm gonna do a shameless plug. Uh, the merch store is up. And speaking of shirts, and if you go to mitchwonders.com and up on the left you'll see shop. If you hit shop, it'll take you to the shopping page. So there's two pages. The top page has the two buttons. You can either enter the merch store, you can buy the Mitch Wonders book, huh? Or if you page down a little bit, it just shows you like a graphic of some of the stuff that's for sale there. But I want to note that one of the shirts on there is one that I designed specifically for this cause. So any proceeds from the sale of that shirt go directly to the National Veterans Foundation, and they're a non-governmental, uh, I guess, entity, and they do a lot of it's veteran to veteran support, so including a veterans hotline. So I thought it was really important. So if you want to go to the merch store and support, Mitch, God bless you. If you want to help serve, help the veterans of our country, bless you even more.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
great.
I hope we sell 1 million of them. I don't care if we
Yeah,
sell 2 million of them. Every penny will go to the National Veterans Foundation.
I'm definitely gonna spread the word.
Thank you. But speaking of spreading the word, I've been hearing a lot. I mean, this is a bad segue. I apologize, but this week's topic is about AI. Everybody, I don't know if you hear it as much as I do, but it's like AI is taking everybody's jobs. Oh my God, here it comes.
Oh, I know, and it is scary to me a little bit, and maybe it's just because of my old age, but I guess for one thing, when I hear about AI taking giving you a medical diagnosis, right? Like at what point
That's
is it
not.
applicable and makes sense? And then at what point is it like scary, right? I mean, how far are we going to take this?
Yeah, I mean that's part of like the human interaction, and we'll talk about that too, because AI can't fake that.
Yep.
And there's actually going to be some good news at the end because of that. But the episode's going to be called because I heard somebody mention it. I can't recall who. I should give them credit, but they said they feel like, oh, I know who it was. It was Neil Tyson deGrasse. I think he's a physicist, but he said AI is eating its own tail. And I thought that was very interesting, so I looked into it a little bit. And the title comes from, AI models like simple ones like ChatGPT or image generators or code assistants. They're trained on huge piles of human created data, books, articles, art, stuff from that's already been created by humans. And that human input gives it, the variety and the depth and what looks like originality, even when it just, remixes it. But the AI systems, if they're relying on that, but they can't rely. But if they start relying more on AI generated data that comes from that instead of from fresh human work, the system's just recycling its own outputs. That's what I mean. It's like it's eating its own tail.
Yeah, just whatever you feed it. And it's just like if you go on Reddit, right, or any type of forum and you type something and somebody shares a story and people comment on it, that just feeds into the AI
Yeah,
database,
exactly.
right? And that's
Yeah.
going into
Well,
the that's going into these giant data centers. And that's another thing that's in the news lately has been like here, even here in West Virginia, like they're taking up all this land and all this water to cool, this data centers have a huge impact on an area.
oh, are they
And
standalone data centers now?
yeah, they're trying to, I mean, it takes acres and acres, and they're talking about like all the water required and all the land required and
Interesting.
just how that much cooling it needs and all this stuff. Like it's sucking up all the water for all the cooling.
Well, there's good news at
All
the
the
end for
power
that
and the
too, I think.
power, and of course all the power required. So it's become a big topic in some of these rural areas where they're trying
Well,
to put.
I do. I'm impressed by, from what I've worked with Chad a lot. Where I work, I can't, I was in tech and uh, people started leaning on it too much. You could see that was creating unoriginal like responses to emails or to questions and meetings and stuff. But over time, they say that type of thing will lead to what researchers call model collapse. The quality drops, the creativity kind of flattens out, and then the error is just if it issues an error, it's going to be error on top of error, and it's just going to be worse and worse. I don't know if you even recall because you say you're old, but you're not as old as me. I don't think we. But do you remember Xerox machines?
Yeah,
People used to make copies of something and then put it on the Xerox and copy again, and each one got fuzzier and fuzzier. But that's what
right.
they say it's going to be like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And even now, for example, my wife has used some of the AI stuff to create some background images for her crafts, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
looks good, but then you see some of these images you see created and it almost fools you, but then once you dig into a little bit, then you see the extra sixth finger or, nine,
Oh yeah,
a little
exactly. Oh
head,
my
or
God.
you'll see some weird thing on the pictures or that you're like, well, that's not real. But dang, if it's
And
not getting pretty good though, I mean, there's a lot of pictures and
there's some good
looks
ones.
like
And
it
trust me.
looks like a real, like somebody shooting something out of the sky or some natural disaster, tornado coming through. I'm like
Oh yeah.
hitting a bridge, well, that's some pretty good AI. Or these, the funniest ones now are the talking, like the Bigfoot. I don't know if you've seen those. There's
Oh
like all these
yeah. Bigfoot. Yeah,
talking
yeah. Yeah.
Bigfoot.
And they are pretty funny. They are pretty funny.
Or the talking babies, right? Like these talking babies.
Well, I mean, because then you see like the negative. You see like I don't know if you've seen it, but because I think I get like all my news from YouTube. I just watch it. That's all the patience I've got. But there's like a commercial that comes on for, hey, senior citizens can get this discount card, and you can tell the announcer is a generated AI image. It's
Yep.
just it's too perfect, and it's like, but yeah, I admit, Mitch has done a lot of graphics using AI for the show, and there's some damn good ones. Like some of them, like they come up with them like, oh, that is a good one. I like that. But like you say, like if you generate an image and like I'll do it like sometimes with like I've done it today for next week's episode. Um, I've had two friends on there with me, and there's no way that AI gets the three of us right at any one time. It's like, whoa, what did you do to his face, man? That's horrible. But it needs us. I mean, it's like, that's why I think that's part of what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, these jobs aren't going to go away, but that's going to change because, and I know some of us is kind of like rose-colored glasses, but when I say AI needs us, it won't replace people. But for context and judgment, AI doesn't know what matters to you unless you tell. It's only as good as what you tell it.
Right.
It can
Absolutely.
suggest, but we still decide. So, but it also, I mean, so we got to supply the context, but we also have to be the ones in charge of correction and oversight. Like if it makes, like you were saying, for medical judgment, I damn well hope the doctor's reviewing it before they release it to you, because AI makes some confident, mistakes that they're pretty confident about. People are still the ones who have to catch them and course correct.
Yep. Well, another thing I was thinking about is that originally, let's go back a few years. Like one of the first things you could really call AI would be like this automated voice system, right? When you
Sure.
call a company, right? So
Yeah.
press one, press two, what would you like to do? And then you say, and it would have this voice recognition, right? Say, and you speak to it, and you'd be like, speak to representative, and you get frustrated because and when I think
Operator,
of AI, that's
operator.
right. I'm like, operator, speak to someone now. Like I'm just getting frustrated every minute because
Oh,
like, you keep hitting the button, you keep saying something, and you can't get what you're wanting because you need that human, right?
you're
And
very right.
that's what I'm scared of is that yes, it's getting much, much better. Yes, it's doing much better to recognize handwriting. Like you can load a receipt on a picture, right? It can read every word on the receipt. It recognizes everything to convert handwriting. It there's so
It's
much out there
crazy.
that it can be used for, but again, there's still going to be those things, like you said, there's still going to be things that it's going to be frustrating and you're going to need human interaction. You have to. We
Exactly. But
we
in
can't get
some
rid of
jobs,
humans forever. We have
we,
to.
we have to be honest. I mean, in our opinion, at least in my opinion, some jobs admittedly will vanish. It'll
Yep.
go away because but those jobs are like more about the process and not about the judgment that you need to make it happen. So uh well, processing data, I have to admit, I'm really impressed. Like I was just talking to us, I was considering trading in my car on a different one, and I asked a question about it, and it could search the internet. You could tell that's all it was doing, was searching the internet to come up with the relevant data. But like, we can go back and make simple examples. Like we were just talking about old tech, old Caterpillar tractors and whatnot, because we both worked together there. But like the tractor didn't end farming and spreadsheets didn't end accounting. It just
Right.
changes how you work, because those sheets and those things can do it. They can process the mundane or the repetitive faster. And jobs will morph, teach. But on the plus side, teachers should spend less time grading papers, I think, more time guiding students. Lawyers will spend less time, I think, digging through all the data, all the background that they need to. And even people like us, like podcasters, can spend more time editing and talking with people, and let AI do the mundane.
Yep. Now, yeah, and I agree, especially, you look at the potential in the medical field. Yeah, like I said, I would be afraid of getting that diagnosis, but how fast can
Yeah,
it sort through data or test or, all the different combinations for research, right? Research is probably a huge opportunity for medical, for curing diseases, right? There's so
yeah,
much
that's
out
a good point. I mean,
probably
and
be
there's they have
useful.
to sort through the mutations and permutations of impossibilities and come up with, now we've limited down because it can't. I get that. That's great.
Yep.
And like you're saying with medical, I mean, as you're talking, I would trust them to tell me like my blood test results, but I wouldn't trust them if there's something critical. Like if I'm doing, let's just, I don't want to be blatant, but a cancer diagnosis or an arthritis. I'm going to the doc on Monday. I don't think they're going to be able to tell me what the hell is wrong with that toe. What's wrong with that toe? It's driving me crazy. It hurts like hell. I broke it once. I didn't know it was broken, and it's set wrong, and now it's just like painful every damn day. So I don't think they're going to be able to figure that out. I'm just going to have a doctor, like, again, he's going to look at me and go, "It's arthritis. Get out of my office."
Yeah. And I even think about it. I was thinking too about even like my own work in manufacturing. Like, okay, every time you do a project, and you've been in manufacturing for years too. So everywhere I go, it's the same issues over and over, right? It's the same, it's different people. The acronyms change on how they fix
Hmm.
the quality system. Everything is the same. You run through, it's a tolerance stack up. It's this, it's that. I mean, it's the same issues over and over and over. And it's just it's like here's an opportunity for AI to go through a project and
Absolutely.
look at a print or look at it, or maybe do some type of print analysis or do some type of analysis based upon what you feed it about a 3D model, and maybe it can make sure there's no interferences, make sure that the material is
Yeah.
good. Um, Look at
Well,
corrosion, look at, well, I'm getting technical here, but
no, no,
there's
no. Feel free.
opportunity.
You hear me? People can't see. I'm nodding and smiling because I love this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably opportunity for that to feed into some database and say, hey, spit out the part, right? It's going to make 3D printing probably faster if you give, it's you create that model and it's you're able to feed it into something quicker, right?
You're
Um,
right.
so
Absolutely.
there's a huge opportunity for manufacturing, huge opportunity for, like we said, medical, like, and even legal. I mean, how many books do lawyers need to reference in cases? All that stuff can be probably brought up like that, right? I mean,
And probably get more accurate because
yep,
they can go deeper into the archives and find more like salient or just little references. And like you're talking about, I want to get back into it now because I challenged my team to come up with ways to implement AI to if nothing else. And I'm sorry, this you're right, but uh, look at the key process indicators, look at the KPIs, and how much time was it spending here? Why was it spending time there? And how can we improve it? And the AI can help you with that, guys. It makes your job easier. Even simple, something simple like to get the information to you faster, like putting in a chat bot so you can, so if something happens, they can respond to the chat bot, you can react right away instead of doing it like later in the process. So I agree completely. But I also am concerned, like you just brought up, and I bet that customer support model is going to be the worst. It's going to be because it's going to be it's just going to degrade until it's absolutely useless, and people are going to be frustrated, and then it's going to turn around. In fact, I've got, I actually asked ChatGPT, I was like, you're going to fail. So I want you to give me a good timeline. In fact, I'll tell you the timeline now. But so stage one. Well, I don't, just generally speaking, well, okay, because stage one, it's going to be, um, businesses like, let's face it, businesses love and need money. They got to create value for their stockholders. So they're going to swap out AI because it's faster and cheaper. The goal is volume, not about people. So stage two is AI recycling, AI like we've been talking about. It's going to be the more content, fills the web, the more the systems rely on the same recycled junk and quality starts to drop. So here comes three. That's when cracks start to show up. And I'll just skip to stage four. That's the best part. Now it's got to come back to people. So to fix the mess, companies need fresh human creativity. So if you're thinking about the future of people, if you know whatever, if you're going to school, I don't know what the direct degrees would be, but in stage five, the jobs don't vanish, but they change. And oversight rather, creativity and trust now becomes valued by the corporations. So this is what AI can't fake. So I told them to give me this timeline for this. And they said, in simple terms, within 2 years, companies will cut these jobs for cheap AI. It's going to be almost impossible to avoid. But within 5 years, those cracks that we talked about will start showing up. And then unfortunately, by year 10, they'll be back to people. So it's good. It's good because the system can't run without us. It just can't. That's why I think it's sad but hopeful at the same time.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, people have to add value, right? I mean, as a society, we have to be part of that to earn, right? We can't just exist. I mean, our society depends
I
on
agree.
us being, we have to give something, and
See that,
for
and
me,
then you and I were talking before
yeah,
we got on the air, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So just we should talk further about that, but maybe over a beer or something. That sounds like a beer. What George Strait calls it, cold beer conversation.
yep,
But but the jobs that disappear, well, I mean, like you said, they'll disappear, but they'll turn into different jobs, just like we talked about with farming and with the advent of, Excel spreadsheets and that type of thing. So that bookkeeping now turns into financial analysis because AI can't do that. It can do it, but it's like just regurgitated data. And customer support, when they rehire them, they're going to change it into something called, I don't know, what do you want, a customer relationship, which, because you and I both know, I mean, it's so frustrating. Like I've yelled operators so many times at the damn thing, but it's going to be, it's still going to be demand for, like we say, the trust, creativity, and like the oversight to go back and review everything to make sure they're not giving us dangerous, results.
Yep. Well, we all, no matter what, we have to adapt. I mean, we've had to do that with not only technology, but just, business. I mean, look at, the Walmarts of the world and everything, right? And we lost
Yeah,
Kmart, lost Sears, we lost the malls. What happened
it's
to
a
the
good
malls,
point.
right?
It's a good
All the
point.
malls are gone, but will the malls ever come back, right? Will people eventually, I always said maybe one day it'll come back around where people still want to go in one big place and go to all these stores in one
Yeah,
spot.
make it more of an event. I heard
Yeah,
like Nick Bargatze, the comedian, he's talking about starting, I think he's going to open an amusement park or an amusement park chain because people he thinks will come back because they want that event or go to the movies. Go to the
yep,
movies. Enough of the streaming stuff because going to the movies with your kids was an event.
yep. And we've lost that. I mean, and that is where I think some of other things in society are going to eventually come back full circle.
I hope so.
They may be different, but again, it's adapting and still putting that element in there of what can we do to make it better and what can we do to adapt to it and use it for an actual improving our life, not, just like shopping per se. I don't like going to a store here, getting in my car and going to a store there and getting in my car and going down the road and you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't like shopping everything online either, right? I mean, it's
No,
convenient, but I still like to go see stuff in person. So we eventually, I feel like some stores, whether they're specialty shops or whatever, or maybe the mall comes back, but I
that would be
still think
fun.
there's some things that can be done. And it's the same thing with this AI stuff. I mean, we'll adapt to it. That we're going to have a human element. It's going to be frustrating, but ultimately people have to control it and use it.
Yeah, it'll be a bumpy 10 years if we go by that plan. Companies, of course, greed drives this kind of motivation. Like it or not, companies that's just what you do. And they'll cut corners, then and AI will stumble and people will feel it in their jobs. But I think the main thing is the same way everything has shaken up things in the past, like we talked about technologies, like you were saying, people adapt. And AI, again, it can't survive without us. So in the end, it's going to be our judgment, our stories, our hands on the wheel, or in the example of Ben Taylor, the hand on the stick. Yeah, Ben, shout out. But and whatever, keep the world turning. So don't lose sight of that. There's still hope, you guys.
I just hope that we don't, I just hope that AI doesn't create so much fake news and fake things out there that we use it to destroy our destroy our
Yeah. As you're saying, I hope it doesn't
part
get
of it.
dangerous.
That's
Like
part
people
of it.
believe, I get busted. I've sent like, I'll put like a video clip in a chat with my son and a friend about a military dog that parachuted for his first time. It's so awesome. And he's like, Dad, I think that's AI. Like, damn it. Because I wanted to believe it so bad.
I know. Everything looks real and people believe it, right? I mean, people are gullible, but
Oh, I hope not.
hope that we can overcome that.
But one thing they need to know, Vincent, that'll never happen to you and I, and it'll never happen to the Mitch Wonders podcast. People can count on us.
That's right.
And
There's
and,
going
and
to be jobs, for people to, almost like cybersecurity, right? There's people out there that all they do is figure out if stuff's real or not. I mean, that's probably going to be a career in the
oh, I
computer.
guarantee it. That already is. It's just amazing how fast it changes. That sounds like an old man right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Did you? It's just amazing how fast it. And I don't want to give, a shout out to a corporation, but I will because I'm impressed with how Walmart has adapted.
Yeah.
You brought it up, that's just a big box store, but they've changed and I don't want those I don't know if it's Walmart or the other another tech giant, but they come into your house and put away your stuff. I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want
I
that.
don't, I don't either. I heard about that.
Hey,
Like,
speaking of shout outs, I don't know if you do this because I don't know if we talked about it before. And granted, I'm only a rookie because I've only been doing it since February, but I'm a big fan of Costco. Like as you were talking about going to stores, I
yeah,
like going to Costco because it's like an adventure of what they've got.
they're putting one in Washington, PA next year.
Yes.
And it's going to be like 50 minutes away, but I'm excited that they're putting one at least closer to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Never
remember
been
talking to
there.
my, I ran it by my financial advisor one time. I said, "Hey, do you think uh, the Costco membership is going to be worth it for a single person?" And he almost shouted. He was like, "Do it for the booze alone."
Yeah,
Okay. And I've bought wine and beer there, but hey, a good $7 bottle of wine is a good $7 bottle of wine.
that's right.
Well, Vincent, my friend, it's always good to get together. I've enjoyed this topic today. I knew it would be kind of fun, and like I said, I've told people before when I put the topic together, I think of who I'd like to talk with it about, and I'm glad you and I don't know what it is, but you and I have talked about tech the last two times.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's been our life for a long time, right?
We should get together one time and just bore everybody to death and talk about Caterpillar tractors. That would
Yeah.
be cool. We could get old cornbread on the line with us too. I bet he'd do it and just complain the entire time.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for dialing in, Vincent. I hope we can get together again sometime soon. And it's been a pleasure. And I hope people got a little something, a little ray of hope from this, I think.
All right. Thank you.
Take her easy, man.
Have a good one.